Yellow potatoes have meager thoughts. Rule 2028, Optional dead ends and option lists. Listing things to do increases and outlines one's realistic options of what one can take on. Even if you know of some possibility, you cannot do anything with it if you do not remember it. There are a couple of things compiling a list helps one do. 1. One can get itself to change one's stance and course towards a completely foreign direction out of feeling bored and picking the first suitable option. 2. Option lists supply one's mind with stuff to do and help keep the adrenaline going instead of collapsing. The listing demonstrates how a grand dream is also a risk the closer to its completion one gets, as it could leave one in a pickle with a new big target to pour one's time and energy into. An unassigned major passion or a focus can become a passivating anti-self-preservance factor if not allocated to new dream goals. Having things to do creates happiness. Rule 2029, Dual dependence of psychical and physical mood energy. Things tend to go smoothly when the mind and the body are both similarly engaged at the same time. For example, stress is caused by taking on a significant amount of mental effort without pairing it with physical work, and it will wear out the mind in record time. Another case is boredom that is caused by not enough physical or psychical engagement. To stay in high spirits at all times, one needs to maintain an equal and significant mind and body involvement and to carry out the demanding tasks with ease. Rule 2030, provoke yourself to cause an emotion. In case you have no strengths or prideful things to harvest passion from, can use your weaknesses and non-prideful elements of your personal history to achieve the same strong emotional mood effect by deploying heavy provoking. Rule 2031, adapt to conditions without expectations. One may tend to attach conditions to reflexive responses and goals that always transform into inconvenient expectations. One is much happier once it ceases to react reflexively like a robot. For example, if one gets an orange, it must be cheap. That is about an assumption and an expectation that add nothing to the facts or reality. Not getting an orange is not cool in the case of one really wanting to have that fruit, and the cost being an extra attachment and an encumbering lodestone to that idea. One does not have to live optimally correctly like that. Those extra requirements will wear one down and lower one's quality of life. Living the way one wants and needs is where one should to spend its thought efforts on. Lighten your mind by removing excessive context factors, bloating it up to enjoy being yourself and your life more. Rule 2032, some demanding stuff is best done with the attitude of not giving a damn. Feeling inconvenienced works as a nonsense remover. Rule 2033, let death sort it out. Life, along with all of its loose ends, is always completed upon death. Closure seeking is redundant energy waste for the living. There is no need to worry about life and death. Death takes care of everything in the ultimate sense. You might still want to get every single bang for your life buck, as there is plenty of stuff to do for many lifetimes. Rule 2034, 80% of everything is crap according to Stigion's law. So unless you are a farmer, do not play with crap. Rule 2035, slavery by social instincts. When physical sensors are not receiving noticeable sensations, the social instincts take over and start working the brain endlessly until an interrupting physical sensation occurs. The switch of mental modes is instant and can be triggered most easily by touching something or crumpling a piece of paper or grabbing dirt. Rule 2036, goals are excuses. All personal goals, codes, and allegedly satisfaction-yielding challenges are excuses. They really are nothing special. They make the nothing that usually fills the mind to feel small and cramped. That is why the mind feels mightiest and roomiest when all excuses and thoughts are taken out and removed. It is likely that those excuses take a lot of subconscious effort to maintain. That explains the mighty feeling when you get rid of them all. Getting rid of the excuses and thoughts is risk-free, as you will get new ones as ideas as soon as you throw the old ones out. So if your thoughts or goals do not seem to produce any results, coldly throw them all out and try again with the new thoughts that soon afterwards replace them. Rule 2037, Disarming conditioning, a martial arts master theorem. By training to successfully fight unarmed against armed opponents, a whole new level of self-defense and independence is created. Do the same with the prospect of being outnumbered and you will have dominion against the two most common tactics used against a single individual. Rule 2038, Chivalry is dead and women killed it. A quote by David Chappelle. Rule 2039, Accept the past, no cost or damage is as big as inability to get over a thing that has already in the past, happened and unchangeable. The past is permanent, so get used to it and any undesirable things happening. Rule 2040, No good, generous, or kind deeds go unpunished by a woman. A quote by Terminator T-800. Rule 2041, Trust no party. The difference between being present then and there and knowing and reading and trusting sources created by other people is that often a lot of facts get wiped under the rug and get edited by other people. It is usually about an inserted, deliberate personal or political bias to influence the opinions of others. Unwitting trust is a fool's tool for getting nowhere in life. Rule 2042, Respect your desires. Desire is a rivaling psychological factor to urgency and mandates. It arises from medium to high satedness level minds and increases the emotional satisfaction when fulfilled. Urgency drains satisfaction and is overall emotionally incompatible with desire and unfounded as a motivation. One should base all of its actions and thoughts on its desires to avoid feeling drained during a day. If you follow your own desires, you are more likely to be able to keep going longer with the fulfilled desires feeding your motivation to no end.